Hello and welcome once again to Robo Luchador. I'm your host Russell, very confused as to why my cohorts have a picture I thought I had asked to be destroyed. Why is that still around?
Once it's digital, it can't be destroyed.
Promises were broken. Promises were broken. That's all I'm saying. I'm Russell, joined by
Chessie.
Daniel?
Morgan.
Promises were broken. I imagine what I could have swore I turned off notifications on here, but yet that popped up and was audible.
Yeah, my notifications are still on too. I need to turn them off because Adam won't shut up. Adam, stop. I do this every week that I'm on, is turn these notifications off, and I always forget where it's at.
It's supposed to be able to quiet hours, and that mutes it, but I'm not seeing it. I'm hitting all settings.
Yeah, I'm just turning mine off. Sounds for everything off.
Where we figure out technical problems.
Yeah, well, it's Windows 10.
We're learning Facebook.
Oh, but that's Facebook.
We're 50 years old.
Shut up. I'm only 29.
I put my phone on silent half an hour ago.
It's not like my phone that's going off. It's Windows notification. Windows 10 will notify, makes a small little chime, and tells me you guys have sent me a message, whether Facebook is up or not.
That's
So
awesome.
that new noise is Windows 10, and it's not Facebook?
Yeah.
Me and Chessie were wondering about that new noise back when it first started.
Mm-hmm. And I can't, seem to turn it off.
Oh, is that why your computer makes a weird noise?
Yeah, that ding.
Yeah.
The ding. Yeah, that's Windows 10.
Oh.
You guys are spamming a Facebook chat.
Oh.
I see. Well, that was an interesting start to the show.
Yes. So how's everyone's week been?
Actually, it's a decent segue. You brought up pictures. Did you see the picture Gal Gadot sent out?
No. Link.
It's, I don't really have a link. It was on the trending topics for Facebook. I can send you the actual picture in the chat.
That'll work.
Okay.
In reply to your question, I've had a terrible week. Thank you for asking.
Don't feel bad, Morgan. My week's been crap too.
I've had a week. Abby, shut up.
The only thing that has been good to me has been Japan.
Well, I can bet you everything I have. I've had a worse week than you.
Yeah, I saw this today. This is epic. The new Wonder Woman pictures.
Yep, apparently it's underway.
Yeah, they started filming this week, from what I read. So yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, the Wonder Woman news has me super excited. I saw this on Twitter an hour ago. But yeah, they started filming, which means it's gonna come. That Wonder Woman movie is gonna go live shortly after, a year. A year after the Superman movie. Well, it's the Superman Batman movie, or Dawn of Justice. Why couldn't they call it World's Finest? Why couldn't they have called it World's Finest? That's still my biggest quirk with the movie, is the title is stupid. Then it'll be Suicide Squad, and
Well,
then Wonder Woman.
it's kind of like a title version of clickbait. If you put in World's Finest, the random kind of people won't just go, oh, I'm really interested to see that.
I was okay with keeping the Superman versus Batman part of it. Just call
Yeah.
it Superman Batman World's Finest. I was okay with that. But Superman Batman Dawn of Justice, just to remind people, hey, we're doing a Justice League movie. Kind of stupid. When they have this catalog of brilliant titles that both fans will appreciate and will draw people in to look for those books.
It's pretty much what Marvel did with Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yeah, it is, and even they regretted that title. They came out and said it. They should have just called it Captain America.
Yep, just like Iron Man.
Well,
It
no,
was-
'cause I like the naming scheme they have now for Thor and Cap. Like, they don't do numbers.
Yep.
They do, like, story arc titles.
But I mean, for like the first movie in a series, it was just Iron Man, plain and simple. Same with Thor.
Nope, Cap had to be the first Avenger. And that would have been fine had the word Avenger been used in the movie.
Yep.
But the name's not even... But, like, that's one of the things I loved about the Avengers movie. Is it's just something Tony made up to distract Loki. You know, we're the Avengers. You know.
Well, technically, Nick Fury had been going on about it for ages.
Yeah, well, the Avengers Protocol. The Avengers Initiative. That too.
Yep.
But, yeah. Anyone got anything interesting with this week? Because this has been my week, literally. I got my DVD copy of Gosei Sentai Die Ranger. I got the next volume of my Ultraman manga. And then I wrote quick reviews of the first 4 Digimon movies. That vlog went up today. And then last night I binged watched all the first movie on Crunchyroll. So all the first Digimon Tri movie on Crunchyroll, which made me very happy. It's good. It's very good. But there's a problem. I don't see this getting localized. At least probably not by Saban. For 2 reasons. One, it's very adult. Like, it grew with its audience. This is aimed at the people who watched the first 2 seasons. This is not aimed at new Digimon fans who've been watching, like, Cross Wars and playing the video games. But Digimon Tri is available on Crunchyroll. The first movie, Reunion, they split into 4 parts instead of showing the whole movie. But it's only available to premium members right now. And I'm curious how that's going to work. But I was just happy to get to watch it last night.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like, it takes some getting used to, like, especially if you're not familiar with the changes that were made from the Japanese to the American version or the English version. Because the biggest one is, out of all the characters, only 2 of them keep their Japanese names. 3, technically. Sora and Mimi don't have their names changed at all. Joe's isn't changed much. The difference between his Japanese name and his American name is 1 letter. In Japan, it's just J-O. In America, it's J-O-E. That's it. That's the difference. And then all the other characters are very different. Tai's name is Tai Chi, so they just shorten Tai. His sister Kairi is Hikari. Izzy's name is Koshiru, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Matt's name is Yamato, and TK's name is Takiru. So it's just, you know, getting used to the Japanese names. But pretty much all the Digimon keep the same name. With one exception. And that's Omnimon, who is Omegamon in Japan. But it's really interesting. I like the story. It's like, this movie sets up for a big plot. Like something that's going to keep going. I have no clue when the second movie is going to come out. They haven't made any announcements on it, but I'm excited because now I know Crunchyroll's got it and I can go watch it there. And I probably will watch through it again just to be more analytical. But yeah, new Digimon makes me happy every time, especially when it's aimed at that original show. My only complaint is the only time you see the 4 new characters from Season 2 is in this weird flash at the beginning of it, and you see their names. They're Japanese names. Like those 3 of those 4 characters got heavy name changes, like heavy localized names. You see their Japanese names on a computer screen, and they're never mentioned again. But yeah. Anyone got anything else now that I've gushed about Digimon? Because if we don't, I'll talk Fallout. I can talk Fallout for hours.
I have a list of other things.
All right, Morgan, keep us going.
One of the biggest things being Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah, that started yesterday. I need to sit down and watch that. I've been so busy with Fallout, I haven't had time for TV.
I, annoyingly, have only seen the first episode.
I've seen 7.
And I'm on 8.
How is it any good?
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
Good. I'm gonna definitely make some time to sit down and watch it. Also on the note of a Netflix original Marvel series, Funko announced Daredevil Pops.
They did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a picture of a few of them.
They've got 4. They have his costume from the end of the season. They have his temporary costume, just the black jumpsuit and mask. They have Matt Murdock, and then they have Kingpin.
Awesome.
Yeah. Honestly, if I was going to get any of those, I'd get the costume, the final costume of Kingpin. I haven't ordered any right now. I'm still in the air on it. Mostly because I'm curious as to what they're going to do with this show. Like, I know they started filming the 2nd season, and it's supposed to air next year, but I'm still excited for like others. Like, I really can't wait for Iron Fist and Power Man. Speaking of which, how is Power Man in the Jessica Jones series? Because I know he makes an appearance in it.
More than appearance.
Okay, so he's a major plot
Yep.
character?
Yeah.
Do they call him Power Man, or is it just Luke Cage?
So far, no.
Just Luke Cage?
Yep.
I'm okay
No
with
Cage, really. I don't think he said Cage. I think he's just introduced himself as Luke.
Okay.
But I may not have been paying attention.
I think at one point, you remember the part where he goes looking for that kid for that woman?
Mm-hmm.
No spoilers, otherwise I will kill you.
Okay, so no spoilers.
No, this is, nothing. Doesn't she call him Mr. Cage?
Actually, I believe so, so yeah. Okay, they have said Luke Cage.
Okay. I'm pretty happy with this because I'm excited because this can either lead to a Defenders movie or a Heroes for Hire movie, and I'm okay with either.
I think they announced it's a Defender series that they're going to be doing.
If they're gonna do a Defenders series, then they need to bring in Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, because Hulk was a major character in the Defenders books, and they need to bring in whoever they've casted as Doctor Strange.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Is it Cumberbatch? Okay.
Yep. And I don't know, the fact that it's more contained to this like street level New York, that's been the theme for each series so far. Mm-hmm. Adding Hulk and Doctor Strange would just
that's the problem with the Defenders, is they weren't a street level team. They had street level characters, but they weren't a street level team. Heroes for Hire, however, was a street level team, but that consisted of Ant-Man, Luke, and Iron Fist, and that was primarily it. There's been some other Heroes for Hires like later Carnation had Black Cat and the Daughter of the Dragon. I'm trying to remember her name, and a few other characters. But the old primary Heroes for Hire was Ant-Man, Luke, and Iron Fist. That's why I'd rather see Heroes for Hire than Defenders in the title. Because the Defenders was not a street level team, though it had street level heroes. And heck, every one of these characters at one point or another in the Marvel history has been an Avenger. So
But yeah, David Tennant is incredibly creepy.
He is. I love it.
He's amazing.
Same. Oh yeah, he's amazing as always. It's just so weird seeing him being
I
so
like how
evil and
I
creepy.
like how they're doing him as the Purple Man.
It's much more psychological than.
Yeah, and he's not purple. He just wears a lot of purple.
Yep.
I like that better.
But yeah, I have only seen episode 1, and even that was incredible.
I've not made it to the end. I'm hoping they don't kill the character off because I'm hoping for a Thunderbolts at some point, and I would love to have David Tennant back.
Yeah.
I don't think they kill him off because the way they're talking about him and he's talking about his character doesn't sound like it. I mean, it could just be misleading, but I don't know. Yeah, that's been incredible. There's also been a lot of other TV on this week.
I need to catch up on Supergirl, and I know they're setting up for the crossover episode for Flash and Arrow,
Yep.
introducing the Hawks in that.
Well,
Is Supergirl any good? I've not
enjoying
had a
it.
chance to watch it.
I am
Yeah,
enjoying
it's-
it. It's a little slow and dry, but it's not like it's not Gotham slow. Like Gotham took forever to build, and then by the time they built, I stopped caring. It's not that slow. The only like architectural problem I see is I don't know how they can do this and not have Superman appear sometime. Like statistically, I think they can do this whole first season without him really making an appearance, but I don't see that not happening in later seasons.
well, he already kind of has appeared.
Well, yeah, they've showed like the silhouette, but they've never
And-
revealed who that was casted for that. And we've never seen that character or Clark, though he is talked about quite a bit.
But yeah, it's much more upbeat and kind of what you'd expect when compared to like Arrow or that.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
it very much reflects the type of character that the Superman family has. Like, because Superman has always been the more uplifting, optimistic character, and Kara, for most part, has been that in the comics. Her most recent incarnations have been very angry. Like, so much so that she became a Red Lantern and instantly became the leader in some recent books. And I know they've made, like, Superboy is always kind of pulled off as the angsty teen. And that's, all in all, okay. I think my big complaint with the series, outside of every episode I've watched, I've caught a 52 reference, has been, here's a bigger villain as a background character, or a side character, or, like, because in episode 2, they introduced Maxwell Lord being interviewed on a TV as he bashed superpowered heroes. And then the guy running the government agency that her sister works with is Hank Hanshaw. aka Cyborg, or for those
Superman.
Yeah, well, technically he only went by Cyborg Superman once. After that, he was just the Cyborg. Yeah, it was confusing, but then again, how many Flashes are there?
Well, between 4 and 6, depending on which continuity you're talking about.
Exactly. Pick your active continuity. Don't get me.
But then you can say the same for Robins. But
Exactly. I was gonna
you can
say-
easily tell them apart if you know your comics.
What's sad is I can do that by haircuts.
Yep.
Dick has the part on the side. Jason has the two little spit curls on his forehead that come down like upside down horns. Damien has the messy hair, and Tim has the part down the middle.
Damien.
No, Damien's hair is generally messy and short. Tim has always had the part down the middle.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, there was also Flash. It had an amazing episode this week.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad Flash has picked up in its second season. I've loved everything I've watched. I need to take a day and pick up. But if I'm not recording Fallout, I'm editing Fallout. If I'm not editing Fallout, I'm sleeping.
Have you completed it yet?
No, I am. Okay. As of right now, I have recorded I've recorded 29 episodes. I have uploaded 15 of them.
How far are you in the story?
I finished Act 2. Act 1, I've started Act 2. I
Alright.
just got to Good Neighbor. When I started going towards Good Neighbor, I was like, screw it, I want to side quest and level up. And that's what I've done for 10 episodes.
Ay.
Shut up!
This week's Flash was the return of Grodd.
Yes! I love that storyline!
Yep. The CG was as incredible as ever.
I'm really, that's been my biggest worry about some of these shows, because I look back at stuff like Lois and
Smallville.
Clark and the early seasons of Smallville, and
Yep.
I'm just like, as much as I enjoyed this, I'm so glad we've progressed.
I mean, I love Smallville, but if I went back and watched the first few seasons, I just nope. But
So I do
Arrow
like how
also had an amazing episode.
good. Like I said, well, I'm liking the whole magic
Yep.
season. I'm very interested to see where they go with this. And I like who they casted as Damien Dark. I will admit that was a good cast decision.
Yeah, it was really character driven more than. Well, it did have a lot of action, but the character kind of moments were the key parts of the episode, and it was really good. The Walking Dead had a really good episode.
Yeah, it did.
Yes.
It was pretty much Daryl centric, and I really enjoyed it.
I'm waiting for seasons to become Daryl centric.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. also had an incredible episode.
Yeah, I've fallen behind on Shield too. Shield was easy for me to watch, because generally this is how my Tuesdays would go. I'd make time to go watch the Muppets. I'd go do something for that half hour after, because I really didn't care much for Fresh Off the Boat. And then Shield would come on, and I'd just leave it on, and that's how I kept up with Shield this season. But I'm behind on both of those shows now. I'm enjoying the Muppets, by the way. I'm loving the humor. It's the best way to describe it is take The Office, tone it down a little, just a little, and replace all your favorite characters with Muppets. And that's your Office. I'm loving the characters. One of my favorite new characters is Chip, the IT guy, because he's just weird and creepy, and it's one episode he was like, Herman, I need you to tell the FBI I was doing this on the computer. I swear I wasn't doing what they say they were doing. I wasn't checking people's bank accounts. And then he turns around and he looks at Rizzo and Peppy. You two stop messing with Chip. They're messing with me? I have friends! I love it. I do. I love this series. I even, like, it's not there now, and it disappoints me that it wasn't there. But I got a reply from Gonzo on Twitter that just made me smile. Because he was just like, I'm kind of stuck upside down on the soundstage, and I'm like, is this a relaxing thing or a need for help? And he replied like, I relax by needing help. And I'm like, this is great. And then the people behind it probably took it down. But I got to see the notification that he replied to it, so that made me happy. I hate
last. Oh, pardon?
Just sometimes alternate reality Twitters bother me because that's what these are. All the Muppet Twitters are alternate reality Twitters, and they have to A, stay in character, and B, they kind of have to adhere to certain things. That's why I don't like it.
Last on the list in TV this week for me was Doctor Who.
I'm so behind on Who, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I only get to watch it when I'm at Chessie's. I don't have BBC America.
I enjoyed it, but it confused me. It didn't really continue the main story. It was just kind of, again, like more of a Monster of the Week kind of thing. I still enjoyed it.
Sometimes I enjoy the Monster of the Week thing.
I've gone through a lot of seasons on Supernatural because of it.
What,
yeah.
the Monster of the Week?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was Smallville's thing for so many seasons.
Yeah.
Season 2 and 3.
I can't remember specifically, but yeah, there was just so many Monster of the Week episodes. Yeah, that's all I've got for TV.
I'm just glad everything's going good. We should start seeing a lull here soon because they're gonna break for winter and come back in spring, and that'll give me a chance to catch up on everything.
We don't talk about it much because I think I'm the only one watching it, but American Horror Story was really, 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 really good this week.
That is something I do want to watch, but I'm probably just gonna binge watch it on Netflix quite soon.
At some point, I'm going to watch the older episodes, and I've only watched one episode.
Daniel, do you need me to get you a teddy bear and a security blanket?
It wasn't scary.
It was just weird. It's not scary, it's just weird.
I know. That was the thing about when I first got into it. It's more weird than frightening, and
yeah,
I think that has more to do with its time slot and censors and all that jazz.
Have you watched any of this season or anything?
No, I caught a little bit of it because it was one of those heavily advertised things, and I like FX programming, so I was just like, well, I'll check it out. Because it was that and the Bates Motel show being advertised.
I didn't care for Bates Motel.
I didn't either because I felt like
I never got to watch it either.
Psycho was a movie that really kind of, it still frightens me, but not for the reason everyone's scared of it. It frightens me because that scenario that Norman Bateman was in is very common, and that's what scares me is that character is more real than any other slasher movie character. Like, that character alone is more real. However,
although at one point of this is my first season watching American Horror Story, and the first 10 minutes of it scared the crap out of me.
yeah.
because the monster came out of the bed. It climbed. It was like buried in the bed, and
Awesome.
it was just this monster just climbed through where it was buried in the bed, and there was a lot of rapey things, and it's frightening.
Yeah, you can testify to how quickly I can binge watch things. I can probably get from season 1 to 3 in about a day or two.
I'm skipping season 4.
Well, I know one thing is when I finish this current playthrough of Fallout, depending on what I do, because I'm debating getting to a point where I can do the multiple endings, like getting to a save point, making a hard save of that, and maybe branching off and showing all 4 endings for the game. Because I know that much. That's all I know about the end, is that there is a point where you can branch and it's very obvious where it is. That's all I know about it. And doing that, but if I can, when I start my second playthrough, which is going to be mostly just me screwing around with a different character, I want to see the female dialogue, because it's different than the male dialogue. Like, there are certain lines that are just different for each character. And I'm going to play through with her and just have some fun. I think I'm just going to keep her using the sarcasm option every chance I get. But that's when I'll probably make time to binge watch things, is when I do that playthrough, because that's how I used to do it. That's what I did with Eureka. I got through that whole series by binge watching it while I played Mario Kart. I'd have Mario Kart on the Wii Pad. I'd have the Wii Pad in front of me, and then on the big TV I would be playing Eureka on Netflix. It was fun. That's generally how I binge through things. And trust me, I need to binge through a lot, because I'm paying for Crunchyroll, and there's a lot of stuff on there I want to watch. So much.
Hey, I actually recently binged watched Parasite on Crunchyroll.
I've heard good things about that, and
Oh, it's good.
Funimation picked it up, and I know Toonami's been running the English adaptation. So I'm curious which one I want to watch, because sometimes it's easier with an English language to do stuff.
I watched it with the subs, and it was really good.
Well, I say this, and I'm gonna surprise you. I picked up the first 2 seasons of Digimon on Crunchyroll because I wanted to watch the subtitled versions, and they took them down off Netflix. And I went to watch it on Crunchyroll, and I'm like, alright, we'll start here, and I'll watch the subtitles. Crunchyroll has the English dialogue. And no, options to change it. Go figure. I was really surprised that I'm watching Digimon Adventure, and that's what they're calling it, Digimon Adventure, on Crunchyroll, and it's the English voice acting. I still binge watch. I got all the way through the Myotismon stuff. I'm also watching Gundam Blood and Honor, or Blood Orphans, or I'm trying to remember the name of that. It's the new Gundam series. It's kind of intense. It's very kind of intense. And I watched Hunter x Hunter. That was a lot of fun. And I'm watching Ultraman X on Crunchyroll, on top of reading Fairy Tail and 7 Deadly Sins. So yeah, I'm getting my money's worth from Crunchyroll. I wish they had more manga. And I know that's a new thing for them, and they're building it, but I still wish they had more. right. Anyone else?
One thing that's annoyed me recently is the fact that Kotaku are idiots.
Yeah, pretty much. I've heard about the Twitter arguments. I've been kind of avoiding it.
Well, it's more one of their most recent articles that's kind of annoyed me. They pretty much whined and complained about the fact that they've been blacklisted by Bethesda and Ubisoft.
Well,
They were blacklisted because they leaked a lot of information about Fallout 4 and Assassin's Creed Unity like years before they were announced.
well, yeah, Kotaku was the people that broke the, when Unity was called, what was it, Liberty?
Victory.
Victory. They broke it, they broke that Victory story.
Yep.
And they
it's
also
the fact-
had, someone also gave them the casting documents for 4.
Yep.
That's like, yeah, I've heard, they're starting arguments on Twitter and it's stupid.
But they're complaining because they were blacklisted. So don't leak in development stuff. You can't expect them to be happy and go, oh, here's some early review copies, and oh, we like you. No, it doesn't work that way.
Well, it's that too, and their journalism practices are super loose. Like,
See, they kept saying it was for the gamers, but like leaking information that's not anything to do with story details, but just more that it's happening or something like that. Yeah, maybe okay, but all that extra stuff is unnecessary and does damage it. Yeah, I'm not happy with them right now.
no, well, I mean, Kotaku's give and take with me. Like, and it's, they present themselves as serious journalists, when really all they are is a continuum of bloggers who got together and decided, hey, we can do this better, and
Yep.
they're not following to any standards. Like, as much as I hate IGN, they at least adhere to standards and practices of journalism.
Yeah, and they actually talk about, well, what they say they're going to talk about. They don't spin off into unrelated jibber jabber.
And ladies and gentlemen, Morgan is now our Mr. T. I pity that jibber jabber fool.
Pretty much.
I've got that Sony's working on a PS2 emulation.
Yep, I heard those rumors too, because they've like covertly announced several like PS2 games, PS1 and PS2 games for the 4 like old
Yeah.
old Star Wars games that are included in their console bundle.
Well,
And,
yeah. They were asked about it. They confirmed it, that they're working on some technology for it.
Good. I mean, here's how this works for me. Oh, backwards compatibility is a thing of the past. We're sorry. 2 years later, we're sorry. We're gonna give you backwards compatibility. We're sorry.
To an extent, they're still using PlayStation Now, which is just an abomination.
Well, yeah.
And what I worry is they're meaning PS2 emulation is going to be added to PlayStation Now.
Yeah. That's pretty much how theirs is gonna work. Whereas, but I don't hate either console. They do. Each one does something right better than the other, and Sony just has this catalog that will always dwarf the Xbox. But just because it dwarfs the Xbox doesn't mean it's better quality than like the full Xbox catalog. But the one thing the Xbox is doing right is, oh, you already own that game? Good. You can just plug the disc in. Whereas Sony's, it still seems like, oh, if you want to play your Final Fantasy VII, buy it again.
I will say I could argue with you about the whole quality thing, but yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at like the broad catalog, because there's a lot of companies that just don't develop for the Xbox because it's not cost effective based on the game they're developing. Like, alright, if your RPG genre is JRPGs, you're going to play on a PlayStation. However, if your RPG genre is Western, PC or Xbox. And that's just how I like. And I'm not saying just this console. I'm using the last console cycle to have had this sort of observation. That and PC won out with a lot of games because, oh, you can mod it.
In other news, gaming news, I've been playing a lot more Fallout this week, but that isn't unexpected.
Nope.
And I got a chance to play a lot of Battlefront as well.
I've heard
Jealous.
I heard the release version is so much better than the beta. I haven't
Oh,
picked it
yeah.
up yet.
It's real good.
Good.
It doesn't have a story, but the multiplayer, it doesn't feel like
If you want the proposed story to the single player, go buy the novel Battlefront. I'm pretty sure
but like
that's
the multiplayer doesn't feel like COD or that, where you just keep getting hammered by people. It's so massive that anyone can do good, to be honest.
Good.
Cool.
It's like full scale wars, and you don't have like 12 versus 12 and they're all really high powered. You're just kind of all equal.
Yeah.
And it's so much nostalgia. See, even just like the TIE fighters firing, it just nerd.
I will
But
say
yeah,
that
I would-
actually a mode that appealed to me was they have this mode that is just air battles.
Yep, Fighter Squadron. It's just air battles, and you even get like hero tokens for the air battles, which lets you go either Slave One or the Millennium Falcon, which is amazing as well.
Depending on faction.
Pardon?
I said it depends on the faction. And I imagine they'll be
Yeah.
adding different ones when they start adding like
Yep.
DLC for the new movie.
Oh, yeah, and the season pass, which is a ridiculous price as well. It's £40 over here, but I think it's $50.
Yeah, that's half my problem is I don't want Okay.
That's
yes,
EA.
I bought the season pass for Bethesda for Fallout. But you want to know why I bought the season pass for Fallout? I have played Bethesda games since before Morrowind, and Morrowind had expansions. Those expansions were good. Oblivion had 3 solid DLC expansions.
Yep, incredible.
Fallout had 5 solid expansions. Maybe 6 actually. Hang on. Operation Anchorage,
5.
Lookout, Mothership Zeta, The Pit, and Broken Steel. 5. 5 good ones. 2 good ones. 2.5 good ones for Skyrim. Like, content. Like 2 to 3 hour.
Can I just ask if anybody else singing "The Pit" from Parks and Rec in their head right now?
A little bit.
That is another show I need to binge.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Parks and Rec.
I see so many images and GIFs and all that on the internet from it, and I see Chris Pratt, and it hurts me that I haven't seen it.
It's so weird because you're like, you watch it, and if you watch it not knowing that this was filmed before Guardians, like, because I know
Yeah.
someone's out there going to be like, why did he put on so much weight for this show? He's let himself go. I'm like, no, you don't get it, darling. He was a chubby comedian before he was your sexy rogue in Guardians. No fangirl.
But yeah,
Sorry, Morgan.
I definitely recommend Battlefront if you love Star Wars in the slightest.
I want it so bad.
Yeah, I want to get it.
It feels like you're in the movies. It also feels like the old Battlefront games at the same time, which is just perfect.
I've heard, like, it's just so gorgeous.
Yep,
So
it's beautiful. And
I have
what's
to throw in
awesome,
there, Mo.
just a little detail. Pardon?
I have to throw in there about the fangirling. I fangirl more over Andy Dwyer than I do Star Lord.
Yeah, one of the little details that I liked is the fact that when you get a hero token, you get to choose which hero you're going. So you don't just get randomly thrown
Yeah, I
into
know.
Darth Vader or some.
Yeah, that's what I like. And each hero does different things. Like
Yep.
Han's more accurate with blasters. Luke's a lightsaber user, and Leia's
Yep.
tactical, from what I understand. But I also understand
Yep.
that Leia.
She's more troop support.
I also understand that Leia is very squishy. like, she's the easiest to kill.
Yeah.
And I think it's like they do the same things for the other side. Like Boba Fett's your tactical shooter, better with guns. Vader's your power lightsaber user, and well, the Emperor's just force lightning everywhere.
Yep. But yeah, I definitely recommend that. And the only other thing really game-wise that I've played again is Fallout.
It's been my life right now. I don't hate it. It's just I lose myself
Well,
sometimes.
I'll tell you how my sleep has gone recently. I went to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning this morning, and I woke up at 7 and started playing Fallout immediately. That's been pretty much it.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that's all I have
12
game-wise.
hours.
That's been about the same for me. Is I'll be up to like 4 or 5 in the morning, either recording or editing. And recording's better for me later because the house is quiet and I don't have to worry about someone yelling in the background. Because my biggest fear is if I can hear it, the mic might be able to hear it.
Yeah. In news related to Star Wars, George Lucas is kind of evil.
I blame us. I blame us.
When asked which Star Wars character would he most want to be, can anyone guess who he replied with?
Jar Jar Binks just to piss us off.
Yep.
That's how George
And-
rolls. That is exactly how he
Oh
rolls.
yeah, like it won't be his actual answer, but he'll just say it to make everyone so annoyed.
Well, you've got to understand, he made these movies because from the end of the original trilogy to before he sat down and started penning the prequels, every time he went out to meet fans, whether it be San Diego Comic-Con or conventions, which were few and far between for him, the fans were nice, grateful, and asking for more. Constantly asking for more. So he sits down and he starts to give us more. And as we start moving into that digital age and we have these open forums to express ourselves on, somewhere a seed was planted, and that seed has flourished and grown, and now everyone just assumes it's not the original, so it's bad. And yeah, the first few movies have problems. The trilogy has problems. Mostly, and my biggest problem is casting decisions. It's not anything with the plot, it's just Hayden Christensen's a bit of a ham.
Yep.
Jar Jar Binks is a poor man's Chewbacca. And a little racist, but
I don't see that, but okay.
he's been compared to old blackface television in his style of speaking. Like that kind of old American.
I think that's just reaching more than anything.
There are some similarities, like and it's definitely with the dialect that he chose to use for the Gungans, but that's where the comparisons become something. It matches that ignorant black man image that that was promoted in the early 20s to 50s. But other than that, the fans turned on it with these films. And he got upset by that because he did this for us. He was content to never do this again. Like, but we turned on it. When he started giving us more, and it's not just the prequels, when he remastered the original movies, we turned on it. We turned.
Was it necessary to put a rock in front of R2 though?
No, but that's not the complaint. The complaint is Han shooting first, or like it being too much. And I get it. As a writer who will go back and just destroy pages of work to make them either simpler or more detailed, because you're never happy with what you've done. I get where he's going there, and he just wanted it to feel more like what he imagined it to look like. Some of it was excessive, some of it was very neat. I love the new ending sequence where he goes through every one of the major cities. Even Coruscant makes an appearance. And Coruscant made no appearances in the original movies.
It was more the really bad CGI that was put on top of it that annoyed me.
Yeah, there are some things,
But yeah. Oh! I've got some more news here about everyone's favourite crazy old racist. Frank Miller has plans to make The Dark Knight Returns 4.
4?
Yep.
They just
Dark Knight
launched
Returns 3, The Master Race, the end of the Dark Knight series. Oh no, I'm making a fourth one.
Funny story, guys.
I know, right?
Where's my bucket? Because I'm going to need to just jump into it.
A fourth one.
The second one wasn't needed.
Yep. Now we'll get to see even more Superman Popeye bulge. So that's going to be fun. And last on my list was just the fact that the Mass Effect 4, well, Mass Effect Andromeda antagonist name has most likely been found.
The what?
Well, do you know how Shepard was named after one of the first people to be on the moon?
Yes.
Well, in the N7 Day Celebration trailer, there was a pair of dog tags with the name Ryder on it, and the first woman to set foot on the moon was named Sally Ride.
I'm okay with this. I'm also okay with the fact that that was Femme Shepard.
Yep.
That was Femme Shepard from Game 3, because I think they changed her voice actor a few times.
No, it was always Jennifer Hale.
Was it always Jennifer Hale?
Well, I'm pretty sure anyway, but yeah. I'll do that instead of ending my bit on crazy old racist Frank Miller.
I've got a couple things.
Go for it.
It's rumored that Cloud isn't the only character coming to Smash. That Shovel Knight is also going to be coming.
Makes sense, especially since they announced a Shovel Knight amiibo a few months back.
Yeah.
Yep.
That isn't a stretch.
No, that isn't at all. Nintendo's really wanting to kind of lock that down as a third-party property for them. But the game's everywhere. Nintendo gave them the time of day when they were shopping around for consoles, and then it did really well on Nintendo and Steam, so Xbox and Sony.
And Telltale's Game of Thrones is getting a second season.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, doesn't really surprise me.
No, but they need to fix their engine. They need a new engine. Like, I'm playing... Oh, dude, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I loved this engine. And when I first... Because I'm not a big Walking Dead fan. I'm not. The games were good. But... There's... I'm just... But, I love... But the game that sold me on the Telltale's current engine was... The Wolf Among Us. I love that game.
Yep.
It was so much fun. So much fun. And then I played it with Borderlands, the pre-sequel, and for Minecraft Story Mode. And
Wait, Borderlands, Tales from the Borderlands, wasn't it?
Tales from the Borderlands. And you can see its age. Like, it's a little glitchy. Sometimes character animations won't load in when they need to do something. It just needs a huge overhaul. And mostly from that shift from, like, the last gen to this current gen. And that's the big problem with it, is just that shift. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised they're doing a season 2. It outsold every... It outsold every one of the Telltale games to date, not counting... Okay, yeah, Jennifer Hill's been in all 3 Mass Effects, but it outsold... Yep. It's outsold the pre-sequel. They put more focus on it. It released quicker and more towards the schedule they promised. The longest it went between episodes was 3 months, whereas 4 to 5 for Tales from the Borderlands. It's HBO threw money at it because they got actors from the show, and so I'm not surprised all of that's happening, but it got such poor reviews in comparison to like Tales and the other like serious story-driven Telltale games. It got a lot of poor reviews. Okay, Jennifer Hale is literally the female Troy Baker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Female Nolan North, whatever. Just
yeah, Troy Baker,
yeah.
Nolan North. Because I'm looking through her list, and I can't find something that had voice acting that she's not in. She was in Biker Mice from Mars, from God's sake.
It's Nolan North, Troy Baker, Tara Strong, and Jennifer Hale that are in everything.
Pretty much.
They might not necessarily be in everything together, but if you found something on IMDb or that's video game related, one of them will be in it.
She was Mrs. Keene in the Powerpuff Girls movie.
Yep.
She's Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat: The Journey Begins.
Yep. But yeah. Voice actors are crazy.
She's so calm. God of War goes to Sparta's. The next Star Wars. She's Leah from Diablo 3. I should have recognized that.
Oh, I recognize that. After playing Mass Effect enough times, you catch on quickly.
I knew Sarah Palmer's voice sounded familiar from Halo 4 and 5. But that's kind of her still using the femket voice a little bit. She's in Uncharted 3!
Yep. Daniel, did you say you had anything else?
Yeah. PS4 owners get the World of Tanks beta next month.
Nice.
I had fun with
I was gonna say, we had
the
fun
Tanks
with,
game.
We had fun with that on the 360.
Yeah,
I've
and it gave
even the
Jess
title.
Engage one of their favorite Russell quotes. Back to the garage. Yeah.
I've always wondered why they do that, and
Because it was really random,
well,
and I don't know, it made them laugh, so they enjoy it. That's how Jess Engage minds work. They have the minds of like 7-year-olds.
so I should just continuously say penis around them.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Just penis, penis, vagina, vagina, penis, penis, vagina, vagina. I work with children.
Also, Beyond Two Souls is coming out next week. The 1080p, and Heavy Rain is next year.
Beyond Two Souls has me very excited. I played it on PS3. It was awesome. I have not played Heavy Rain, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, apart from Jason.
I've heard good things from both, and I'd like to play them at some point.
I definitely recommend Beyond Two Souls.
Heavy Rain is pretty good too. Heavy Rain falls under that. It was really interesting because a lot of PS3 exclusives fell into this category, and this is the category of it's the best movie I've ever played, because like there's a lot of decision and like dialogue options to it, but it felt more like a movie, and like it was so weird because it was this game, Heavy Rain, Metal Gear Solid 4. That game was 90% cutscene. Games like that fell into that category that were pretty good. But yeah, Heavy Rain's a lot of fun.
And the last thing I have is Halo 5 is still doing very well. Microtransaction sales are around 700,000 plus.
Good.
My freaking goodness.
So it's making money despite Call of Duty being out, despite Star Wars being out, despite Fallout being out.
Well, that's the only thing keeping me from playing it is I have been so focused on Fallout that I haven't had time to load up the multiplayer.
That actually kind of reminds me. Apparently, Fallout sold 1.92 million digital downloads within its first 3 days.
Wow, they rarely release digital download numbers.
Yep. But yeah, that was awesome. Does anyone else have any stories?
I don't think so.
Murlocs and feral ghouls make me scream like a damn girl. I can't remember what episode this is in, but it's when I start doing. It's definitely after. During 11 up to. Because after episode 11, I just start, and those are up yet, but they won't be out for a while. I start side questing, and it's just as I come across things that startle me, I will like turn a corner and scream like a little like. I was in the sewer under Concord, just exploring. I didn't know there was a Mirelurk down there, so I'm just exploring. I'm looking around. I turn one corner. I'm looking through things. Nothing. I turn around, and there's this Mirelurk just staring at me, and I scream like a little girl. And it's in the Let's Play.
Well, it's not Mirelurks that scare me. It's more Deathclaws, considering I was just going through this building, scavenging. I take the elevator to the top floor. I get out, see a glowing, radiated Deathclaw coming straight for me. I get back in the elevator and go straight down. I do not regret that.
Oh no,
You guys take the exact opposite approach than my friend Mike takes. He's
oh, does he go crazy? I'll kill you, and then he gets killed.
Oh yeah, he started up the game. He named his character's name is Lord Two Shanks.
Okay.
And he's taking, I guess, a knife or something throughout the whole game. And at the start, he told me he decided to fight a lizard, and he lost terribly.
Well,
And now,
they throw a death claw at you really early, but they give you power armor.
well, now he
Yeah.
has his dog companion. He named it Lord Fourshanks. It's got 4 legs, and I guess, it helps you fight and stuff.
Yeah, like dog
So,
is pretty useful.
I don't know if the dog does it alert you to danger?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what
It'll
must have
bark.
happened. And it alerted him to some big mutant bear,
Yowgwise!
Yep.
Haven't
And,
been to one of those yet.
and Mike was like, "What's the matter, Lord Fourshanks? Am I going to have to fight somebody?" And he turns around and sees this bear, so he just takes off running towards this bear, and he's going to stab it, and the bear knocks him down in one hit.
Yeah, that's a Yogli for you, especially when you're trying to kill it with a freaking combat knife.
No, knowing Mike, it's probably one of the switchblades you get earlier in the game.
Yeah, well, you can get a combat knife fairly near the start, but yeah. So, I assume that didn't go well in the slightest.
Oh no, it killed him in one hit. He just now finally went back and was able to kill that lizard.
Yeah.
So he's having fun roaming the wastelands, being stupid.
Yes.
Someone
Isn't-
wants to find out what happens if you put Chessie as your name. I'm curious.
There's a list. Cogsworth says a bunch of names, and you can give yourself a last name too, and he'll use that one instead. Because one of my friends, my cousin's playing right now, and he put in his full name, his real full name, and he uses his last name. But they're compiling a list. Let me see if I can find it. Fallout.
I've seen the list. I'm just curious what will happen putting my name.
Cogsworth recognized names. Well, no one else uses your name other than Cogsworth.
No, it's just Codsworth.
Yeah.
And the reason he says your last name is because he always says the name with Mr. And he isn't going to go Mr. Russell if you put your last name in there as well.
Hey, I could have put my full name. Nope, your name's not here on this list, Jesse.
But what if I try to put my name?
He will just say ma'am or sir.
Mum.
Mum.
Okay.
He's English. And mum is, I'm pretty sure that's what he says, yeah.
Yeah. Or madam. If you're playing a female character. Wonder if I can do a boy named Sue.
But yeah, it's not a massive thing unless you just really want him to follow you around.
And hear your name
It's
1,000
it's not
times.
going to affect you that much. Plus, dog meat's adorable, and
If you
you're
give
not really
Dog
gonna
Meat
want
a
to take
teddy
anyone
bear,
else.
he plays with it. It's awesome.
No.
wait, what?
If you give him a teddy bear, the teddy bear junk item,
Yeah.
he will play with it in his mouth like a dog will. Take the bear, shake it back and forth.
I
blow
didn't
it
know
up,
that.
Catch it, and then he'll put it back in his inventory, and at random times he'll play with it.
That's adorable.
Also, they haven't patched out the exploit to get the cryo later.
Oh no, I didn't do that. I knew
did.
it was there, but I just waited.
I did. I'm going to go back and pick the lock too for the experience. I think I can do that now.
Well, Modders found a harpoon gun.
Yeah.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
code. I wonder if that was a cut weapon.
I think
it'll be a
that's what
DLC one.
The rumor is. The rumor is that there might have been an underwater level or something.
Well,
Yeah,
we've
I
got-
think it's going to be DLC related.
There are 2 perks that are water related. Like one,
Yep.
one lets you breathe underwater, and the other one hides you underwater. Those are, I think.
Oh no, it's the same perk. It's just both levels of it. It's called Aqua Boy.
Yeah, and that that perk when that perk was revealed, a lot of people were like, "There's going to be underwater combat."
No, because it wouldn't make you have a perk to do a certain type of combat.
Yeah, they would.
No, not really.
They have a perk to make that combat easier, and that's what that does. because you can now hide. Like with the first level, you can hide underwater instantly.
Oh no, that's the second level. The first level is that you can breathe infinitely.
Yeah, you go. Still means you can hide underwater. Then
But yeah.
you just go deeper. But you've got to have that one thing where the one perk that makes you not take rads from water anymore, or ambient
Yep.
radiation damage. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss the karma system.
I miss it, but then I don't because I realize, oh my goodness, I shot this guy, and now everyone in the entire wasteland knows I'm that slight bit more evil.
Yeah, that was my only problem with it. Like, if you're good, it's very rewarding because it's like, I'm gonna go home, drop my stuff off, and make it done. Hey, we thought you could use more aid. Hey, look, Stimpack. Thank you, nice villager. I'm gonna walk back into my home. Oh, put the stuff away. Time to venture out back into the race. Hey, here's a new cola, sir. Thank you for not killing me.
Yep.
But no, I'm having a lot of fun. Hey, Daniel, guess what? The Brotherhood of Steel are those assholes in MMOs we hate. I was heading towards the glowing sea for a side quest. I'm trying to get me a spot near it so I can fast travel there with my power armor and not like waste my battery traveling. And I'm just at this point, and all of a sudden, I see one of the Brotherhood of Steel helicopters fly by, the vertibird, and then I see that it's being followed by a Deathclaw. And then that Deathclaw aggroes to me. Fucking Brotherhood of Steel NPC kited a Deathclaw at me.
Nothing is as funny as the time that happened in EverQuest. That was my first experience with MMOs, and I was watching Russell play, and some character
Some idiot
had a
kited
train of skeletons or something, and he runs right past Russell, and then they kind of aggro to him, and he has to run too. It was a good moment.
So yeah, people did that for fun. Some people would go all the way out to the other end of that zone and pull the dungeon, the raid mobs, and try to train them back into town. I hated EQ for that. I remember when...
Did you guys get Loot Crate this month?
Oh god, yeah, I love my loot crate this month.
I haven't got it yet.
Had a Fallout bobblehead.
Yep, had a Fallout bobblehead, had a...
Oh, the Fallout loot crate. Yeah, yeah.
No, this is not the Fallout loot crate. This just has a bobblehead in it. This is the combat loot crate.
Yeah, the combat Loot Crate for this month.
It has a loot crate exclusive 5-inch bobblehead.
Ooh, which one? Which perk?
It's not a perk, it's just a...
It's the Pip-Boy.
Well, it's like I said, it's a loot crate exclusive. It's not specifically one of the perks. No, the reason he asked for perks, Daniel, is because if you go to Bethesda's store, they sell the perk bobbleheads from the game.
Oh, okay.
At 5 inches and 7 inches. This is a 5-inch bobblehead. It's just the arms to the side, standard Pip-Boy one. It doesn't represent any of the perks. They also came with a cute but deadly random figure, which ticks me off because while I was happy I got a Murloc, they have an exclusive one that's only available through those boxes that rotated through Loot Crate that was an orange Murloc.
Wait. Holy crap. What color is yours?
Green.
Oh, Russell, you're going to be so mad.
You got the orange one?!
I canceled my Loot Crate. Adam did.
Adam got the orange one.
Yep.
Oh, I hate your little brother a little bit. I'll trade him. Because that's the only way to get the orange one. Because if you buy the cute but deadly minifigures from the Blizzard store, they are They replaced that with like a translucent Arthas. It had a Mortal Kombat comic by Udon, issue 1. Not Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter.
I was gonna say Adams had a Street Fighter.
Yeah, I think I said combat because of the theme. And
Yeah.
they had some tags for gift tags, Loot Crate gift tags, and cute but deadly magnets, which I put all over my fridge.
Yeah, Adam did the same.
And they had a Mockingjay pin.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I still haven't gotten mine because apparently UK doesn't get it until later.
Yeah, I was happy. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, they've had better ones, but this one was good. The bobblehead made me happy. And I was really glad that it wasn't, like, a specific bobblehead from their marketable ones. Because I promised myself I wasn't going to collect those bastards. Because I'd have to have
Oh,
all
I've already
20.
got one because I got the Pip-Boy edition.
Your Pip-Boy edition came with a bobblehead?
Yep. Technically. It was because we went to pick it up at the store in costume, technically, because I got the Vault 11 hoodie with the Fallout Loot Crate box.
Okay,
And
that was-
they were giving away free merch because you're dressed up.
That's
So
what
I
it
got
was.
a Fallout bobblehead, New Vegas playing cards, and poker chips, and, well, yeah, the Fallout Pip-Boy edition.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So that was always awesome. But yeah, Loot Crate is great.
I was actually happy with Loot Crate this month. I almost canceled because of United. United was just a very bad one, and I think they wanted to market Avengers, and it was shortly before that one was announced that Marvel did their Marvel-only crate and took all the Funkos away from anyone.
Yep.
But I think it's kind of funny that even though Funko's doing crates with exclusive figures, Loot Crate just announced a promotional Star Wars and Doctor Who crates.
Yep.
Cool.
And a whole new... Oh, what was that?
What's that?
Okay, I'm echoing. Loot Crate also announced a new subscription service. Loot Crate Anime. These will be similar crates. I think... I'm not sure if they're monthly or bi-monthly, but they're a bit more expensive than standard Loot Crates, and they're all anime focused. I'll have to look it up real quick. Yeah, it's called Loot Anime, a monthly crate of anime and manga gear.
Awesome.
The first month is Brawl. I think this is the first month. Yeah, episode 1's theme is Brawl. You have to subscribe by November 27th to receive it. And they're promising things like Fairy Tail, Dragon Ball Z, Sentai Filmworks, and Kodashi Comics are some of the people they're doing. But it's standard 1 month, pay by month, is $30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been getting in a lot of emails over special edition crates as well.
Yeah.
I guess their Fallout one done fairly well.
Really well, it sold out once. They had to reorder it.
Well, now they've got a Doctor Who one coming next month.
Mm-hmm.
It's $50.
Yeah.
And I've
bit more
got
reasonable.
another email for a Star Wars crate.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna say the $50 Doctor Who one's a bit more reasonable than the $100 Fallout one. Though that Brotherhood of Steel flag is kind of epic.
Oh yeah, it is. It's the fact that it's not even a banner; it's an actual flag. It's got
Yeah.
the holes for the flagpole.
Hang it outside and watch your neighbors get really angry. But yeah, Luke anime and the Star Wars and
It looks like the Star Wars crate's going to be $100.
I'm not surprised.
Especially with the movie coming out.
Yeah, well, that's why they're doing it. That's why they did the Fallout crate, was because the Fallout's coming out. But Bethesda was just like, you know what we need to do? Merchandising. Merchandising. Space Dolls the deodorant. Space Dolls the deodorant.
Are you complaining?
No, it's just my wallet hurts. My wallet is in so much pain.
Yeah, my wallet is too.
Let's see. Let's do the roundup here. I bought the Pit Boy edition. Where's the Pit Boy? It's pretty though. I did that for two reasons, because I have the collector's edition of the last 3 Fallout games, so that's half the reason it. Oh, I bought the anthology with the mini nuke. I bought all of the pit. I bought an entire Mystery Minis line. I bought a box. I bought.
And you successfully got a single of each one?
Yeah, well, that's the way this series worked. They were all 1 in 12, so a box guarantees you everything.
I figured they would be random.
No, for the license, the Centric license stuff, they do the standard 1 in 12. Like, but when it's like mass license, like the sci-fi or the horror or My Little Pony, then it changes up. I bought the Xbox One exclusive controller. I bought all of the Funkos and 2 of the exclusives, with exception of because I got the glowing one, I didn't get the Feral Ghoul. I've already pre-ordered the 4 Fallout 4 Funkos. I bought the Legacy figures. I've sold my soul to Todd Howard.
Yep.
So yeah,
I think that's universal.
like, and here's this funny thing, like, some of the Fallout YouTubers have already talked about this. Fallout 4 is nominated for Game of the Year for the Video Game Awards. That's awesome. I'm excited. I was like, they barely hit the due by, like, the game had to be out by a certain date, and I think like yesterday was the day to hit that. Well, whenever they announced the list was the day. I'm really glad it got nominated, but out of that list, there are 2 games that deserve it just as much as Fallout. And I'm okay if Fallout doesn't win Game of the Year. I really am. I'm okay if Fallout doesn't win Game of the Year, because Metal Gear Solid 4...
I don't share that outlook.
Well, Metal Gear Solid 4 and The Witcher both deserve it as well.
I know, I speak only in jest.
Yeah, like, I would love for Fallout to win. It is my pick right now. Though I need more experience with The Witcher to make an honest thing, I think it's better than Metal Gear Solid 5. I do. It's glitchier. That hurts it a little. But I think it's a more solid, more like, I'm more sold on this than I was. Like, I could not finish Metal Gear Solid 5, and I would have been happy. Heck, Konami did not finish Metal Gear Solid 5, and they were happy. I'm gonna bring that up, yeah. because apparently the game doesn't end the play properly. Flipping cliffhanger. But yeah, I mean, all this talk about Fallout 4, like, I'm okay with it not winning. I want it to win, but as long as it loses to Witcher or Metal Gear Solid 5, I'm okay. I'm not okay with Bloodborne winning.
I don't think anyone is.
I would die laughing if Mario Maker won. I would literally just lose my shit.
I actually want that to happen now. I actually really want that to happen.
Just so, like, there would be no proof. It'd just be an obituary if, like, the smile would not come off his face.
This actually needs to happen.
Why are you wishing death on me?
Not necessarily wishing death on you, it's just something that seems really funny to me.
That I would just start laughing uncontrollably?
No, that it would win over Fallout. That seems hilarious.
I know.
I think it'd be awesome.
Well,
I wouldn't even be angry, I would just be so happy.
it'd be the first time that Nintendo's won a game in a year since, like, I think a Zelda game. I think Twilight Princess won them a game in a year.
I love Twilight
It's
Princess.
my favorite.
Same.
Well, okay.
Makes me so happy it's coming. It's getting remastered for Wii U.
Yes.
See,
It's one of my favorite Zelda games. I'm not sure it's my all-time favorite. I think that's still linked to the past. But it's up there. I do love it for the continuity, though. Because it's the third game where a link from it's the second game where a link from a previous game makes an appearance. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you really should.
I do.
You really should go back and read my Road to Hyrule Warrior vlog when I talk about my favorite Link. Because the Hero of Time is in 3 games. He's only playable in 2, but he's in 3 games. And I think that's why I like Twilight Princess, was it had this sense of continuity. Mind you, connecting those dots is still kind of ridiculous, but it had a sense of continuity. I still have trouble looking at the Zelda timeline being like, okay. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad that Triforce Heroes is not a canon timeline game.
it is.
It is? What
Yep.
timeline?
It's immediately after A Link Between Worlds. It's the same hero.
Oh my god. Oh. No. No. Then why does he start off a dork with no hero outfit?
No idea. But they confirmed it when the game came out.
Oh. Honestly, Triforce Heroes is probably my least favorite Zelda game right now. And that's saying something, because I thought Minion Cat was stupid.
I'm gonna disagree with you so heavily right now.
That's fine. Like, I have thematic problems. I'm not saying it's a bad game, I just have thematic problems with Triforce Heroes. It doesn't feel like a Zelda game for me.
Oh wait, Triforce Heroes. I heard something entirely different. Sorry.
I don't like Triforce Heroes. It's my least favorite Zelda game, and I said that was saying something because up until this, Minion Cap was my least favorite Zelda game.
I've heard good things about Minish Cap.
It's fun, it's just... It's a story that doesn't need an origin, and then... It's supposed to be why Link has a green hat, but it happens after Skyward Sword, and Link has a green hat in Skyward Sword, so it makes no damn sense.
But yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, we're getting kind of low on anything, and I kind of already talked about Funko news, so I don't want to go to that.
Yep. I'm trying to think of anything, and I can't.
We brought up, okay, so I'm gonna they don't need it. They honestly don't need it, but I'm gonna talk about it because I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Team 4-Star has a new abridged series, though. It's different, though. It's not a standard abridged series. And this is more regular than their Helsing abridged series. They've started a series called Final Fantasy VII Machina Abridged. They use the new PC edition, and they create an abridged-like story from Final Fantasy VII. It's funny, it's humorous, the characters are very, very extreme. Like, they make jokes about naming the characters. Like, when they went to name Mr. T, not Mr. T, Barrett, it said Mr. T. When they went to name Aerith, there was an argument over her name because it went back and forth of typing Aerith and Eris because of the translation error. They did the storyline where Cloud is the one chosen as the girl, and his name was Thunderhead. It was great. It was great. It's really good. They're like 6 episodes deep now. I really recommend it. I love Team 4-Star. Like, the internet is always a fun place to find it. And out of like all the bad abridges out there, they are still the best. Like, I have very few abridged series I deem good. Like, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is okay. It wasn't funny, but their voice acting was phenomenal. One of the Sword Art Online ones was good, but it's good because they took the game, they took the series and made it referential to like modern MMO gaming. Like, they use a lot of terms from MMO gaming. The good one does. It's shorter. I think the bad one's longer. Like, a lot more episodes, and they try to do more with the story and stuff. No, the good one realized what it was doing, and it was just like, we're gonna make MMO jokes. We're gonna make a lot of MMO jokes. And then there was Abridgemon. It had 1 episode. It was fantastic. It was never heard from again. It went the way of the dodo in 1 episode. I kid you not, it did. The only other episode of Abridgemon that there is an April Fool's joke that Team 4-Star did. What was that?
No idea.
But
Hey Russell,
yeah,
you'll never guess what my phone's battery is at.
you say
52.
52%. I'm gonna. That's it. Show's over. We made a 52 reference. I'm done.
Cool.
That's it. Follow me at Robo_Luchador.
Lose some speed.
Batgirl Chessie.
At Dirtmaster17.
Thank you, DC, for ruining a perfectly good mathematical number by putting it everywhere. We'll see you all next episode. Thanks for listening and watching. Hit that like and subscribe button for more. Fuck 52.
Guess how many weeks are in a year?
Shut up! Stop it! I get that's where the number comes from. We're done. We're done. Goodbye. I'm gonna unfriend a lot of people right now.